to a garden where every flower is still learning how to grow. For the past few weeks, I've been thinking a lot about friendships. Not the perfect friendships, not the friendships people post online, real friendships. The one that sometimes make us laugh and sometimes make us cry. Because one thing I've learned is this: not every person who hurts you wanted to hurt you, and not every painful friendship is a bad friendship. Sometimes it's just two people who don't know how to understand each other yet. Have you ever left a conversation thinking, maybe they didn't mean it that way, but it still hurt? I have. Sometimes we have friends who are very honest. They say exactly what they think, no filter, no soft words, no warning. And sometimes even when they are not trying to be mean, their words stay with us. Maybe they make a joke, maybe they point out a mistake, maybe they criticize something we were already insecure about, and suddenly a 5-second comment turns into 5 days of overthinking. Then we start asking ourselves, am I too sensitive? Did I misunderstand them? Why can't I just move on? I think some people feel things more deeply, not because they are weak, not because they are dramatic, but because words matter to them. They remember conversations. They remember tones of voice. They remember the small thing. Sometimes a comment that someone else forgets immediately stays in our mind for weeks. And if you're that person, I want you to hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. You don't need to become cold to survive. You don't need to stop caring. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It just means your heart pays attention. And that's great and beautiful. You have a good heart, honey. And I think there is another feeling that nobody talks about enough. Sometimes we look at our friends and to see things we don't have. Maybe they have more freedom, maybe their parents treat them more, maybe they are financially comfortable, maybe they can buy things without worrying, maybe they can travel, go out, or experience life in a way we can't. And then a strange feeling appears, not hatred, not wanting bad thing for them, just a quiet sadness, a feeling that says, I wish I had that too. And honestly, I think many people are ashamed to admit that because they think it makes them a bad friend, but I don't think it does. What do you do with that feeling? Because there is difference between I wish they didn't have it and I wish I had it too. Those are completely different things. One comes from bitterness, the other comes from pain. And if you have ever felt that way, I don't think you are a bad person. I think you are human. One thing that helped me recently was asking myself this: did this person mean to hurt me? Or did their words hurt me? Because those are not the same thing. Sometimes people care about us, sometimes they genuinely love us, but they communicate badly. And sometimes people don't realize how heavy their words can feel. That doesn't mean your feelings aren't real. It just means there might be more than one side to the story. So, what do we do? First, communicate. I know it's uncomfortable, but sometimes it's a symbol. That comment hurt me can solve weeks of silent overthinking. People cannot read our mind. Sometimes they genuinely don't know. Number 2, look for a pattern. Everyone says the wrong things sometimes. Everyone makes mistakes. But if someone repeatedly makes you feel small, embarrassed, or unimportant, that's something you shouldn't ignore. Number 3, don't judge a friendship based on one moment. Look at the whole picture. Do they support you? Do they care when you are struggling? Do they celebrate your happiness? One mistake is different from a pattern. Number 4, try not to compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlights. You don't know everything about their life. and they don't know everything about yours. Everyone is carrying something, even if you can't see it. Here's a question I want you to think about. When you're with this person, do you feel more like yourself or less? Because good friendships don't require you to shrink. You don't have to hide parts of yourself to be accepted. You shouldn't constantly feel like you are earning kindness. Good friendships aren't perfect, but they should feel safe. If you have been hurt by a friend recently, I'm sorry for you. I know how confusing that can be, especially when you care about them, especially when you know they are not a bad person. But remember this: not everyone who hurts you is your enemy, and not everyone who agrees with you is your friend. Sometimes friendship is learning how to speak gently, and sometimes friendship is learning how to say, "That hurt me," without feeling guilty. And if you ever looked at someone else's life and wished you had what they had, please don't hate yourself for that. You're human, you're growing, and you are doing the best you can with what you have right now. Stay gentle with yourself and stay gentle with the people you love too. We are all learning, we are all growing, and we are all human. I love you so much, and I wish you enjoyed watching this video.